Good morning to all the students and a warm welcome to the day 2 Freshers Orientation Program 2021. And I'll brief you the program schedule for today. We have 2 sessions in the morning. Session 1 starts at 9 till 9:30. It'll be on Indian Heritage and Culture by Dr. Sri Vijayalakshmi, Associate Professor, Department of Statistics and Applied Mathematics, Central University of Tamil Nadu, Thiruvarur.
And this, from the bottom of my heart, I could say this. Incredible India. If all of the world's cultural heritage, such as sports, music, fashion, architecture, literature, and painting, etc., was contained in a time capsule, what would you include to demonstrate the legacy of your country? This is the major thing which comes to our mind. So, the legacy of Indian cultural heritage. What is culture? Normally, we try to come across many people telling us like, please behave properly. Culture, follow the norms, all these things. So when you talk about this culture, we always refer to the knowledge we gain from particular people and we try to pass it on to many people, which consist of language, cuisine, social habits, music, art, architecture, philosophy, and religion. So culture indeed is the deposit of knowledge we gain in different places from different eminent professors, eminent people, and the experience, beliefs, values, attitudes, meanings, hierarchies, and the possessions acquired by a group of people over a period of time. It is never fixed. It keeps on changing. In mathematics, we try to say that it is a variable. So it is essentially a fluid and constantly in motion. So how are we going to sum up all these culture of India through so many years in a matter of an hour is the film now today. You could see like the different types of people in different states, different religion, they try to move on with their customs and they enjoy that thing in having only one belief, your unique one, God. Also, the cultural heritage of India is being thrown over here. The architecture, the different types of buildings with so many things in different states and which is being occupied with the help of nature. All these things are being depicted over here. During the medieval period, what has happened? If you just go beyond the level of 13th to 16th century, we could see a decline of an powerful state and how there was a rise in the number of regional and provincial states. And this period, basically, it is an economic organization which was considerably superior to the earlier decades. But in 14th century, there was a drastic change, or I could say like it's a growth in towns, cities. How? Via what? It is going to be the craft production and commerce. These two fields emerged in a very larger way and made a vital role in all the industry as well as manufacturing places. The increase in commerce, which we can see it, is nothing but the coinage as a result of the transfer of silver and gold. So people started minting money by entering into it. But we could see this in a different angle like the Mughals who also established a vast empire and in India and they brought different types of cultures and that is going to be which is depicted in our art and culture. Now we could see like the customs, traditions, etiquettes of Indian culture which is displayed over here. In olden days, people started giving their proper transformation via dance, music, speeches, etc., etc. But they always followed their customs based on their nativity. When we talk about the Indian policies and philosophy, we could see how the existence it has happened and it plays a vital role in the central future. Very important point to be noted here is like it is not confined only to the geographical and political boundaries of the country. It has extended vast and it has been thrown because people have started traveling from one place to another place in under different context. And this became as an universal outlook. So what is that? What type of message we wanted to give it to the entire society is peace and harmony. These two are the mantras which has to be taken into our mind in such a way that let us be very, very calm and polite and humble in such a way that the entire world will look at us. That is a mantra they started following it. So India has been rising a strong voice under two different aspects. One is racialism, another one is colonialism. So this has protested against the formation of power blocks. So in many places, they started fighting based on their religion, caste, and other things. So in fact, they wanted to eliminate this particular issue by having a non-aligned movement. And the founder members wanted to preach everyone in the across the globe, across India, saying that let us be unity. That is unity in diversity. But India is committed to the development of other underdeveloped nations. They wanted to bring so much of changes, not only in the behavior, customs, but also under technology also. It has been discharging the responsibility as a part of the globe fraternity and has been contributing to the progress of the world. There is a saying normally, if we are very good at home, then we'll be good in the place where we work. Then we will try to behave to everyone across the globe also. This Indian culture, it has been molded for thousands and thousands of years, and it is not a monolith culture. Friends, we have to be very, very, we have to look into another aspect of liberal and what lots and lots of space has been given for everyone to express their ideas and suggestions, which has to be taken by each and everyone in India. From time to time, we had various movements that questioned. So what type of movement they are trying to launch it? And what is the use of that? In what way our society will be beneficial on this? So this existing hierarchies, it achieved a space for themselves. There have been two guiding principles of our culture. One is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a Sanskrit phrase found in Maha Upanishad, and which means the world is one family. Here also, when I worked in VIT, I would like to tell that VIT, it's one family, VITN. We always call ourselves in a proud manner, VITN. Vaishnava Jana and a bhajan written in the 15th century by the poet Nashim Mehta. What does it contain? And how this particular poem has reached each and everybody's mind. Call those people Vaishnava who feel the pain of others. Sometimes, normally, we try to say that somebody is coming and telling us some problem. We always takes it to our mind and see that put in other shoes. So help those who are in misery, but never let conceit enter their mind. India heritage, we could see in map the entire thing like how India is being divided into so many parts. And even though it is divided into basically based on the state, regions, etc., but we are all one. And heritage. Heritage means we inherit from our ancestors, our elders, and from our past. So heritage of India as a result, the developments in different fields like social, economy, culture, lifestyle of people. And another thing, people wanted to, if they want to migrate from one place to another place, they always keep it in their mind that this is my native. So they wanted to keep their nativity. So the land and people, these are the two components of heritage in those days. When we talk about the cultural heritage, under cultural heritage, we have got different fields of classification like religions, family structure and marriage, greetings, festivals, animals, cuisine, clothing, languages and literature, epics, dance, and architecture. However, we are different among by having all these things in our mind, like, but once again, every time we have a feel when something comes to our mind, like if somebody is in trouble, we always try to help. So I could quote one thing like during this pandemic situation, COVID-19, across the entire India, regions, national territory, etc., the globe, I could say it, everybody is ready to help others in one or the other way, which is highly appreciated. Society. When we talk about society, What is the society? People always wants to have a definition. What is this? Society is nothing but us, we all together. So what type of social hierarchy we want to follow? And next one is patriotism. Very, very important point to be taken into. In those days, like in all the villages, from each and every family, one person will be compulsorily asked to go and work in navy, army, military, etc. Caste system, integration of religion. Under the traditional Indian families, they try to follow two different things. One is large joint families, and mostly this is in all the rural regions we could see like. And now the emerged out type is nuclear families. And what are the different types of customs? This is very, very important, which has to be followed. And if this is being followed till our death, then automatically people will appreciate us and they will give respect. First one is respect for elders. I could add one more point over here. It is not only the respect for elders, it is for youngsters also. This looks like Newton's third law. Each and every action has an opposite reaction. So respect each and everyone. Being helpful. Here, I would like to add one more point, humanity. That is very, very important mantra. Treat the guest as gods. And please allow space for others to listen to you at the same time, to answer your queries and let them express their feelings in such a way that we can just go to the greater heights. When we could see this regional diversity, like it is the we could say like it's an international boundary, state boundary, national capital, and state and UT capital, how it is being divided. What are the different types of languages we have it across our country? There are 1,576 mother tongues. 29 languages were spoken by more than 1 million people. 60 languages more than 1 lakh people. 122 languages greater than, that is more than 10,000 speakers. And two major groups are Indo-European and Indo-Aryan languages. Both are similar. And the next one is Dravidian languages. It is mainly divided as Northern Indian and Southern Indian. That is, the parts based on this India is being categorized like that, where in North, they speak Gujarati, Hindi, Marathi, Punjabi, Sindhi, Bengali, and Oriya. I would have left some of the languages here also. South side, they speak Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, and Telugu. Religion. What are the different types of religion we have come across like? Major religions are listed over here. Hinduism, 80% tentatively. Islam, 13%. And the rest of the things are being covered by Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, and Christianity. Very, very important point to be noted over here, friends. It plays a central and definite role in the lives of most of the people. What is this religion? How this has been introduced? From where it came out? So the beginning of the Indian religion, we could see like this is from the Indus River and nearly 5,000 years ago, where the evidence of public worship and based on the gods and goddesses nearby in the native place, and further developed by Sanatan Dharma from 4,000 to 3,500 years ago. Then entered this polytheism and Vedas based on the caste system. Upanishads it has entered into the place throughout the philosophy and thoughtful runs which they wanted to make it among people. So very important aspects are dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So this religion is mainly, they just wanted to have it as a huge diaspora of Indians across the globe in foreign countries also, like US, UK, Canada, Africa, Australia, and even other countries also. So what is the main thing they wanted to have it over here based on the cults, deities, sects, ideas, and the adjusting and juxtaposing or distancing from these two with respect to the existing ones. So in those days, many saints wanted to express their divinity, or I could say like the love and affection towards God in different ways. Either they go for meditation or they go for dancing, singing, or by reciting some poems in the name of God. And Sufi movement. This is a major thing which has happened between Hindus and Muslims. So this saints, they preach everyone saying that oneness of God. That means everybody in this world who are all born, all men and women are equal before the eyes of God. They wanted to have different types of exercises which are being practiced by them, and although these two movements, like, they could not eliminate the gap between Hindus and Muslims, but they wanted to behave together. And that is certainly achieved by the necessary harmony between the different types of religious groups. And very, very important thing is like an agreement was made between Hinduism and Islam to respect each other, their feelings, and listen to their ideas, and they can follow their norms or the cultures or the customs in their particular area. Traditions. We move on to these traditions, and these traditions have gone to a greater level. It has elevated to that level, we could say in Max as infinity, to that level which is not able to, we cannot measure it also like. So what is the basic fundamental traditions we say like? We try to respect others or wish others in different ways, like we say like namaste, namaskar, etc. like that. And we try to bow, and we have the hands pressed together, palms touching and fingers pointing upwards. It is a kind of respect we give it for others. At the same time, scientifically it is proven that it is a kind of exercise and which is good for our health. What is the meaning of this? This is, I bow to the divine in you. I'm ready to respect you. I'm ready to listen to you with patience. So as already we discussed, two different types of family structure. One is joint family. This is a kind of arrangement where they wanted to have all the generations living under the same roof. And nowadays, this is slowly it is going off. And what is the need of this? Why do you want to go for a joint family? The main idea is it is helping us to have a kind of social security in a different atmosphere and environment, and it makes us to understand how to adjust with others in all context. Very, very important thing over here is Adidevo Bhavat. What is this? This is like guest is God. That means we try to work for others and help each other, and it is a procedure that is the host guest relationship we want to maintain. And puja is a prayer which is being commonly followed in all religions. It is not only Hinduism, Christianity, Muslims, etc., etc. All these things like to honor, and we want to have some kind of spiritual relationship. And this is in the presence of special guests we want to do it, or in the memories after they pass away. That means we try to remember them and what are the good things they have taught to us, and we want to follow in the rest of the life. Greeting, as we have seen it before, like we say namaste, zuhar, namaskar, swagatam, namaskaram, vanakkam, namoshkar, namoskar. In Indian family, we try to follow different types of traditions, like we try to conduct the functions, whether it is going to be spiritual or non-spiritual, whatever it may be, we try to have a get together and just share our memories and sweet things what has happened. And the family structure and marriage, they had it as a tradition in the entire society, that is arranged marriage. And majority of the Indians, they have the marriages which have been arranged by the elders in the family and the known persons, and this was respected in a different angle. And in the past thing, they got married at the earlier age itself. And our traditional costumes, and costume is always, I could say from my point of view, in a humble suggestion, it should be a modest costume. Whatever we wear, it has to be respected by others also. Education. In olden days, the first university, world's first university, was established in 700 BC. That is, they say it as Takshila University. More than 10,500 students all over the world, across the globe, they came and studied here. After that, we had this Nalanda University. This has been established in the 5th century along with the teachers and students, and mainly they emerged from Buddhism, and this attracted all the scholars across foreign countries like Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, Indonesia, Turkey, Greece, and Persia. After some days, we could see like mathematicians emerged out to know or discovered different types of, say, I could say like the knowledge throughout in a different angle, which made people to analyze and implement the concepts of this mathematical things in their real-time scenario. And religion and languages. When we talk about this religion and languages, it is being, what is religion? How do you define this? This is characterized by a diversity of beliefs and practices. So normally we try to have it based on the land of religions. That means the birthplace of among all the people over there. 3/4 of the people who were there in India, they wanted to follow Hinduism. And what is the motto they had? It was like, it is a land of other faiths. The languages, as already discussed, 780 languages, excluding 220 languages. And we could say in a sad mood, like many were lost in the previous 50 years. Among all these languages, Sanskrit was considered to be the mother of all the European languages. And now, even now, research is going on by computer scientists saying that how it can be once again brought back. And in religions, in most ancient civilizations, we could see like the basic things which has started under this religion was Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Festivals. What are the different? Festival means it's always a happy mood. We want to enjoy. So festivals. India is always, they always describe the name festival as land of festivals. And based on farming also, they try to celebrate it by always it is dedicated to God like. And India celebrates all the holidays, festivals, everything by having one small word, faith. In another way, we can say that it has got its own speciality in its own. And each region has got its own particular foods and sweets, and they follow their customs. And different types of festivals which has been celebrated across India is just put on over here like Punjab, Bengal, Assam, Tamil Nadu, etc. And some of the festivals and above festivals, what is being displayed over here, all are celebrated as harvest festivals. But according to me, it is we want to salute the farmers and we are here because of them only. And the main important festivals as per the government of India, we just go in for Independence Day, Republic Day and Gandhi Jayanti. They are being celebrated in a very grand manner. And the different part of whatever may be the festival we celebrate, they try to have a unique style under different time conditions. And these are the things, Raksha Bandhan. We want to first at home, we want to give respect to our brothers and sisters. We start like that and we express our feelings and affection to elders, etc. And different culture and their traditions are being depicted over here. Medical science. This is an emerging out area. And when we talk about in olden days, earlier school of medicine, and mainly they wanted to concentrate on mankind, they wanted to have this Ayurveda, that is 2500 years ago in India. Next, they started practicing this yoga, that is the physical, mental, spiritual practices, and it brought some discipline to everyone, which aim at transforming the body and mind and make us at peace. And other contributions and achievements are Shushruta, and this Shushruta and team, they have conducted different types of complicated surgeries. See, now we have so much of facility in medical field, but in those days, they have conducted different types of surgeries also, like for eye, limbs, cesarean, etc. So this user, see now, giving anesthesia for the patient who is going to undergo some surgery, maybe complicated or casual surgery, that was very simple for us now. But in those days also, they have practiced this. Moving on to sports. Sports, it always gives us some energy to burst it out. And I could say like it is stress-free burster also like. So in those days, they have played chess and game of cards. And it is not treated as in some places it was treated as gambling, but in many places they wanted to play it to make their mind to think in a different way, to know the opponent's strategies in different thing, and they had it as a dynamic challenge of chance. So what type of move has to be given for the opponent in such a way that we win the game? Snakes and ladder, our elders at home even now they try to play, and we could see it in all the rural regions and villages. Like then martial arts, this is very very important. It is being even now followed in different places. We call it now as karate and kung fu. Music and entertainment, I could say like in a proud manner that VIT has got so many clubs and they are doing wonderful job. And I could see like the dance and music clubs, they always make us happy in spite of different types of tensions. So in olden days, Jati music, and we call it as Drupad. And this is important thing, a greatest development in music. Why? What is the reason? How it started? The credit of composing different types of melodies, either based on the kings, how they did it, how they are ruling the empire, and it is they want to conduct in different angles for the entire region or society or that particular place based on rhythmic patterns. And they were using the handmade instruments. Next one, Amir Khusro. This is also a great thing, which is a combination of sitar and tabla. And this one, however, they have the greatest interest in music, but they wanted to bring different. They wanted to broadcast in a very broad way, such a way that the innovations, whatever they have done it in those days, is related to poetry and language. Plainly speaking, friends, I could say that in those days, they used to play the instrument and they used to recite, they used to sing. And music under Mughals and Carnatic music emerged in a different way, and this played a significant role in the country, in the life of kings also. A Bhakti movement in the 10th century, it has got a vital growth. That means they started singing their songs in the temples as that is Carnatic music, and it also scientifically it is proved that it is going to be a prominence to aesthetic aspect also. And during the Vijayanagar period, we could see like how music has emerged out, that is the pillars of Hampi known as Sabdashwaras. We always say it, this is a starting point of music, and it is the life of music, Sari Gama Padani. That is Tanjore. The famous musical center is there where people, they just gather there and express their ideas, feelings in terms of music, and they dedicate it to God. The different types of music instruments which is being shown over here, and these instruments mainly they used it as a part of famous Sanskrit dramas also. And this finally it was created with rhythm and melody. So people were very much interested to know about the ancient Vedas, Puranas, Upanishad and epics and Bhagavad Gita, Quran and Bible. Theaters emerged out in those days, like it played a major role for people to understand how the ancient people lived and what are the ingredients you have in everyday life in terms of dance, rituals, etc. And Natya Shatra, this one is also, it includes dance, song, music, and it is very much famous for theoretical, and this is Natya Shatra of Bharata. The classical and folk dances, later on it emerged out, and this is like Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, etc. based on the different regions across India. So they wanted to have some passion towards dance, and this art of dance is like Ragini Devi, the expression of inner beauty and the divine in man. And this also gave different types of gesture seeks to communicate the ideas through facial expressions and hand and leg movements. And the different types of dances, Kerala, everywhere you could see like they try to express or narrate the entire story through the dance movements. Architecture, it's a beautiful word which we have to know. When we see very tall and beautiful buildings, we always, as mathematics background, I always see what types of shapes, geometric shapes are there. Then later on, how it is being built. So the main part of this architecture, this we could see it in olden temples, and later on they wanted to have it as in terms of paintings outside the boundary. And the first one we could see like the beautiful artist Ajanta paintings. This Ajanta paintings, they just wanted to bring it like without any cloth like that. So they wanted to have some variety and richness to express our culture and heritage. Later on, the Ajanta caves and Indian sculptures in temples, we could see like that is the standing image is tall and it is well proportionated. Even though a very good architect who is just minting money nowadays could not see all those things like how it is done. So the silent guardians, they wanted to bring three different aspects. One is peace, prosperity, and fertility. Kailash temple. This is the Dravidian during the Pallava state. It was adapted and the three groups of rock cut. You could see like a very big rock and how it is being cut with respect to the grade. See, it is not like now we have a great architecture, masons, etc. Those days, like even though they were uneducated, but they used to have all mental ability to express how this can be built, how it can be structured. Ellora, and we can say that this is a marvelous piece of rock architecture and sculpture. Then Mahishashura Mardini, a goddess, how she can be expressed in different favors, like where icons are being put over here, which is a tradition of India, and which everybody in our life, we would like to visit Taj Mahal at least once in our lifetime. So Buddhist temples and vihars also emerged during the Mauryan period. So during this Mughal period, we could see that artists and sculptors always they adapted different variety new styles and forms. And this secular architecture, which we could see like in mosques and churches and temples. And in olden days, like Sultan Hussain Nizam Shah, he just had a throne on the, that is imitation technique he followed, and they called it as a fresco painting at Vijayanagar. The only thing is on blue background, they wanted to have yellow top, which becomes an alcove. That was highly appreciated. And next, Yogini painting from Bijpur, we can see that it is how a dressing can be done, whatever communication that particular female wants to express it, and the treatment of rocks from Persian kalams, all these things. Moving on to literature, Indian literature, we could see like different things which made us to learn the lifestyle. And this is one of the oldest thing, Vedas we could say, and it is like Mahabharata and Ramayana. Epics. When we talk about the epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, which is well-known epics of India, and they from these two stories, we could say like what are the things we understood from the basic Tamils, different epics also like Silapadikaram, Manimekalai, Shivaka Sintamani, Valayapati, Kundalakesi, all those things we learned the lifestyle. We could understand how to behave to elders. So everything was posted at each and every stage of the story. And we could see this is Ramlila, and in different ways they wanted to express it by acting in different styles. And Kumoni Ramila also the festival of Dashera, which is celebrated with great pomp and everybody used to enjoy and what has happened. And this is one statement I wanted to tell you over here. All the bad things which has to be eliminated in a life is like, let us keep it very, very happy and bounded. Cuisines. This is a beautiful thing, like everybody would like to taste the food and which leads to enjoyment in life. That is India's food map. And this is portrayed over here where you could see like we would like to taste other regions food, other state food. That is nothing but we want to become one among others. And the fusion and food, whatever we try to bring it now is like based on the traditions. And this traditions is not only the taste, different varieties also. And Delhi Sultanate is very, very famous for different types of foods like, and this is some years before they started having it. And this medieval rulers, they also wanted to have it like based on the Delhi thing, like where they have wanted to have meals, biryani, thin and round breads, how it is being cooked. And the kulfi, the Mughal way, like, and Faluda, the latest thing. And food revolution, always we want to have a change, whether it's going to be a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. Spices. Previously, spices were not there in that. Then later on, the Chinese they just brought different types of sauces to impart the right flavor and taste. We also started following that. So many Indian food nowadays relies on the spices, how it is cooked. And this is Indian gusto, like we could see, like as though it is diverse as India, but we want to have everything unity in diversity, including food, clothing and jewelry. We could always say that our beauty is being added up or modified or signified by having different types of jewelry items. So this also always followed in different types of clothing based on the religion and ritual concerned. Hindu ladies, they wear like white clothes. So they based on the religion, they want to wear it. And Christians would like to wear white to weddings. Handicrafts and other arts. So these are the handicrafts and hand paintings. See how beautiful it is like. And we would nowadays we used to see many things, many articles or many paintings and handicrafts are not available nowadays. So what are the items which your ancestors, your grannies have given to you? Please keep it safely. And in ancient buildings also, we could see that our political forms have been reflected. And when people move from one place to another place to in search of some pastures, they wanted to have what is this? They wanted to follow the customs in that particular place. And if they get settled down in that particular place, they wanted to see the agriculture, farming, etc. This is indirectly dealt with the community development and the growth of towns, cities based on the rules and regulations. Animals. The varied and rich wildlife of India has or had a profound impact on the region's popular culture. So in Hinduism, they started taking this cow as a god and they started praying it, and it is non-violence, and they called it as mother goddess. To what is the ultimate output we get it? Good fortune and wealth. Finally, I would like to conclude by having some three major things which I follow or like in my life. The great Mark Twain, he said, India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most instructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only. I think we should give a big round of applause for a person who is from a different place who has just talked about India. The next person, Ronald Joffe, he said, Indian culture certainly gives the Indian mind, including the mind of the Indian scientist, the ability to think out of the box. Finally, Mahatma Gandhiji, a nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people. Jai Hind. Thank you.